that commercial, that introduction, my goodness, it gets me nervous, and I'm the one that lived it. It really does. But it leads me right into what I wanted to say, what I wanted to speak to you about. And I think one of the things I wanted to talk to you about was, I guess, the challenges. Just looking at that commercial, I hadn't seen it in a while, but I told the producers later on that is something about the community, the African American community, when we hear the voice of Dr. Maya Angelou. A lot of us just stop and pause. We know the voice, we know something's coming, and so many of my family, friends, especially the ones, I didn't tell anybody I was doing this. I didn't tell my sisters and brothers, no. In case it was a flop, you don't know. But it turned out it was very successful. And then for them to be in the kitchen and hear Dr. Maya Angelou, and then for them to come out the kitchen and see someone they know familiar on the screen, it does a lot. So I'm very proud of it, and it got picked up for a second and a third year. I'm proud about that too. So it leads you to something. It takes a look at my life. I had no idea. Yes, I did go to the University of Phoenix, and I did my MBA there. And I was just telling someone today the reason I went to an online place to do my MBA is because my life is so full, it's so rich, there's so much going on. It's not to be conceited or anything, it's just I have so much to do. I'm not done. I'm at a university now where I want to get so much accomplished, and then just listening to the voices today, I thought that was so unique to have our student athletes up there and tell us a little bit about themselves. There's so much I want to do, still. I'm at a university now after having been on Wall Street for 30 plus years. And I like to tell people, they say, how'd you end up on Wall Street? What was your undergrad? My undergrad was education and psychology. But coming off of the Olympics and working hard in the Olympics and being one of the top 12 women in the country playing, and then going to Europe and playing on a team on the south of France. And I was telling Niger that the team in the south of France, it really was a bad team. It wasn't a very good team. They weren't very skillful. But if you're going to be on a bad team, you be on the team that's in the south of France and not that far. That's when you go play. Go play in Cannes. All right, they'll get better. So coming off of all of that, my father, who really wanted a good life for his daughters, of course, go to college, get the education, and you're going to be civil servants. So he said either take the exam to go and work in the prisons. Daddy, I thought you loved me. Or you go take the exam to be the teacher. So I did do my student teaching, but I found that when I went back to the middle schools or junior high school and dealt with a 5th or 6th or 7th grader that said, no, I can't, or can I go over here? I was just, why is it even conversation? Because I'm coming off of a situation where I didn't even speak to the coaches, right? Because the coaches, their word was the last word. There was no discussion. There was no back and forth. You would love this. There's no back and forth. The coach said it, it's done, over, go do that. And here I have a 13-year-old. May I? And I just couldn't hear. I said, I'm going to Wall Street. Nobody talks back here. That's how I ended up in Wall Street. And as I was preparing to come here today, and I do get worked up. I get nervous with these things. I was in the car. I was lost when I got here, and I was lost, and I was like, don't get upset, you got plenty of time. Because I still wanted to work on my speech. I wanted to get here at 5 o'clock so I could sit in the car, because I had done something this afternoon, and I said, oh, I want to tell them that, I want to remind them of that, I want to tell them that. And then I was a little late, but so I still get worked up when I am asked to do these speeches. I think your associate athletic director, she saw me in January, and Chris saw me in January do a speech in Indianapolis for the NCAA. And when they asked me now to do this speech, I'm wondering, why do you do these things? Because, my stuff is done. I already got a medal. I swear I got a medal. It hangs on the side of the bed. Time comes, I'm going to be in an old folks' home. I'm going to get a view, because I'm done. I got All American, we got championships. I've been there. But still, I want to come and talk to you. Why do I want to come to talk to you? And I think the reason I need to come and I want to come to speak to our young people is because I don't want to do this by myself. I don't want to be a leader by myself. And I know the best leaders out there come from athletics. My background is in basketball. The best leaders out there come from sports. We're quite disciplined. We're dedicated. We have the desire. We don't talk back. We just head forward. We just head forward. And when I get into the business world, or when I get into education, or when I get into the real world, I need that discipline. And I'm saying, they're there. The leaders are there. You're already there. You're already doing it. If you are in a sport for 4 years, you've already done it. And if you made the team, you're on the team for 4 years, or if even before you got here. 8 years, 12 years, you've been practicing your leadership. And it's those kind of skills that are prevalent in business, as prevalent in church, in leadership. Those are the skills you already have. You don't have to be shy about it. Oh, and I hate when I hear that they're shy and they say, I don't do public speaking, or I'm afraid to speak in public. No, you're not. No, you're not. I just did an event yesterday with Goldman Sachs, top 100 company, right? They had an event for middle school, elementary school, an art project. They had these artists. Little artists were 7, 8 years old. The big artists were 13 years old. And they just called Muhammad to come up and say a few words. Muhammad got up here 13 years old in the 7th grade. I don't even think he had notes. Just talked for 5 minutes about how much he enjoyed being in that art program. Then they called Maria. Maria came up, she had some notes. I don't even think she looked at it. Okay, she had a little trouble with the microphone. She came in and told us her point of view. Maria was in the 6th grade. And then they had the last one was in the 5th grade. So it's how old is the 5th grade? They're 10, 11, 12, something like that? 10? They got right up here at this microphone. Nobody was afraid of public speaking. Nobody was shy. So when I speak to my athletes, I'm not taking it anymore. I'm not listening to it. I'm not hearing it, that you're shy, that you can't speak. Now I know that there's cultures out there. I'm working with students now. I work with Asian students, Middle Eastern students, American students. We have our cultures. We're raised differently by our parents. But if you want to step into the real world, I'm sitting with Nigeria, I'm sitting with Milos, I'm speaking with Destiny. They're talking about getting ready to graduate, be seniors, stepping into the real world. This is it now. This is no time to get ready. You're going to speak up. And you might have to practice, go in the bathroom and practice, read aloud. If you have an accent, I really don't care. You got to speak up. I need to hear your voice. You have to define yourself. I'm not getting political, but there's somebody in the White House who will define you. Okay? There's somebody in the White House who may not let you in. Somebody in the White House who might change the rules. So you can't let everybody else define you and what you've accomplished. You have to speak up. You have to have your own voice. My mother was my greatest advocate. I used to go to church. I would meet her at church because I lived across town, but I always liked to go to church with my mother. Sometimes I meet her there. And the minister would say, do we have any guests in the audience? I'm not a guest. I just don't live. My mother would say, Gail is in the audience, Gail is here. When they say visitors stand up, I couldn't get her. She had already said it. So I'm standing up. I'm their favorite Olympian. Stand up. You don't clap in church, but you just acknowledge. And I had to say a few words. Good, Gail is in the audience. So I couldn't be shy. You're 6 feet tall, I can't hide, but I sure can't be shy. So like I say, I always need my leaders with me. And some of you are born leaders. Young men who are up here, maybe they're born leaders, they want to do more, they want to speak up. Don't think that just because they picked 3 young men up here to speak that those are the only leaders in here. Every young man in this room is a leader. Every young lady in this room is a leader. People are looking at you. People are modeling their lives after you. There's always somebody watching. Okay? So you're my leaders. I need you, because I can't do this by myself. And I'm not going to do this forever, but I know that you're right behind me. I've been in training for it for many, many years. And leadership to me is as important as any 3-credit, 4-credit course. It's just as important. You work on a great 3.8, 3.0, I can't say I had that kind of GPS. I tried to say it once, but the kids didn't even believe it anymore. All right, okay, but I was still a nice person. But I didn't have the best of the GPA. But still, I would work hard. I would work hard. Daddy always said, work hard, be the very best at what you do. So when you step into it, when you do things, I try not to play small anymore. I can't play small. I'm 6 feet tall. All right, you can't play small. Young man came up here and gave a beautiful blessing of our meal. You can't play small. You're not allowed to. Give it up. It's over. All right? Don't even say, and don't give the excuse, I'm a freshman, I'm a sophomore, I'm a transfer, I just got here, I don't have much money, I don't have a car. You can't play small anymore. You're not allowed. I encourage you, I put my glasses on for this one. I encourage you, I always find juice. I call it juice. I call it inspiration. You call it inspiration, I call it juice. I gotta get juice, I have to get ready. When I was coming here to see you, I have to read my inspiration. It can come anywhere from T.D. Jakes, it can come from Joel Osteen, it can come from Nelson Mandela, it can come from whoever I'm feeling. It might come from LeBron James, depends on what he did. Today I'm going to read you some inspiration. Maybe you heard it already, but in playing small, and I tell you, you can't play small, our deepest fear. How many have heard of the saying, our deepest fear? Our deepest fear is not that we are inadequate. Our deepest fear is that we are powerful beyond measure. It is our light, not our darkness, that most frightens us. I always thought that was Nelson Mandela, but really it's Marianne Williamson, who I don't know, but she inspired me. From Nelson Mandela, there is no passion to be found from playing small and settling for a life that is less than the one you are capable of living.